Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful, straight from the streets of New York City co-star, Judy Loge. Good afternoon, Judy.
Good afternoon. The only thing that was missing was you.
Yes,
that would have been
I
great.
will have to agree with that. You
Yes.
and Veronique and a couple of family members down in New York
Yes.
City, it was not the same because I was not there with you.
I know, and it was because of just a family trip, and we
That's
had to
right.
share rooms and all kinds of stuff. But
Yeah, you had a great time, and we're going to talk about that in a minute and get
Yes.
all the scoop on what's happening in New
Sure.
York. But first, we're going to start off our show. We have a great show lined up for you today. We actually have a couple of different subjects that we're going to be talking about. The Elf musical, which is ongoing right now this weekend. We have a actor and crew member that's going to be here to talk to us about that.
Exciting.
And but first, we're going to start off our show like we always do, which is with a positive quote of the day or a thought of the day. And Judy, I believe you're up.
It is mine.
It's your turn.
And the one I chose this week was by Thornton Wilder. It reads like this: "We live in what is, but we find 1,000 ways not to face it. Great theater strengthens our faculty to face it." What do you think about that?
That seems a little deep.
Well, so we live as we live and we go about different things, but there are
Right.
so many issues that people do not want to face, whether it's marital difficulties,
Okay.
whether it's perhaps being gay and wanting to come out and struggling with coming out. When you watch theater, these actors feel liberated in their part to do just that.
Exactly.
They address issues
Yeah.
that we might have personally, whether it be weaknesses or difficulties, and they
Facing any fear or anything else
and
like
they bring
that.
it to the live stage.
Yeah,
Like
they can.
it could be an infidelity, for example.
Yeah.
And so maybe in a person's marriage, they know the other half is not loyal. However, on the stage, you see what happens when that does take place and there's an
Exactly.
infidelity, how it unrolls. And then maybe so the person in
Yeah.
the audience is saying, that's my life. I don't talk
Yeah.
about it.
Theater
but
and
that's me."
movies are great for that. They are able to touch on subjects and different kinds of situations that are quite
Personal.
Yes, exactly. That's just it. And that you never know what someone is going through, and being able to relate with something that they see or the situation.
Yeah, they
the
feel
movie
that
can
could be
actually,
them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what that quote's all about. We live with what we
Perfect.
live with, but everybody in some way or another faces something challenging or an obstacle to overcome. And by looking at the actors and them bringing it to us, it's like, okay, I see that and I get that, and I'm glad
Exactly.
that they're open about it.
That's right, and that it opens the line of
Yes,
communications
exactly.
there, for sure. So, talking about theater,
So,
New York City.
I spent most of the week in New York City, which I absolutely love. Not everybody
Well, this
might.
time of year alone, it's coming on Christmas, and they have their tree up in Rockefeller Center.
They
so
do.
it would be a busy time and lots of people.
That's what I mean. So I'm
Okay.
a city vibe girl. Like I could easily
Yes,
live
I
there.
can-
It's a crazily
I
expensive
feel like I'm
city.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's my kind of a city because I thrive on theater. I thrive on people. I thrive on
The hustle
crowd,
and bustle.
hustle and bustle. That's my scene.
Right.
Whereas some people might think that is the most.
Yeah, that would be the last time. They
The-
want to go to New York,
Yep.
but they're not going to go this time of year
No.
because it would be twice as, but I'm exactly like you.
You are. You
Yeah,
love it. And the
I would love
traffic
it.
jams
Yeah.
will drive some people out of their mind.
No, walking the
Whereas-
street and being able to, I know the
Yes.
first time I had been there and walking the streets and how quick it is when you come to the corners and stuff. And within the first 24 hours, I was like, I could so do this.
Me too. So let's move there.
Yes.
But I did go to see Pretty Woman.
Okay.
I had not seen like
Broadway?
in its entirety the movie. Like I just had seen bits and pieces of the movie.
Oh, you've never seen the
No.
whole
So this was
original
all
movie.
new for me, the
Okay.
actual Broadway production. The musical, let's get that right out there. It was
That's
a
right.
musical
Okay.
production. The music was scored by Bryan Adams and another gentleman,
Okay.
which I adore because I love Bryan Adams.
Who doesn't love Bryan Adams?
Samantha Barks played the Julia Roberts part.
Okay.
And she was outstanding. And not only was she gifted in her acting ability, she actually looked on stage like
Did
Julia
she?
Roberts.
I love it when they do that. I really do.
She really, I was
especially if
looking
they-
at little Julia Roberts at times.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Now the actor Andy Carroll
Mm-hmm.
was not Richard Gere. There's like the woman behind me said, "There's only one Richard Gere."
This is true.
Yeah,
This is true.
But
yeah.
he did a good take on Richard Gere, and ironically, his wife is an outstanding musical voice in the industry.
Oh,
Her name
really?
is
Okay.
Orfeh. She goes by one name, Orfeh. She played the part of Paulette, which was the street kind of the hooker.
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
she was she
She would have
befriended.
been the friend of the pretty woman.
Right,
Her best
the
friend.
best friend.
Correct.
She was married to the lead. So here
Oh,
was
you're
the
kidding.
girl playing Julia Roberts, making love, basically, or very, it looked like they were.
Insinuating,
Well,
yeah.
very, very closely. It was a very highly intimate scene.
Okay.
And so I thought, it must be uncomfortable. However, they're professionals.
Because his wife was there.
The whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Interesting. That definitely would defy a true actor
it's true, to separate that.
to be able to.
What
Yeah.
kept running through my mind was that Julia Roberts, to me, is one of the finest actors out there. And yet,
She's
she can't
good.
sing. So this girl that was on the stage can not only act, but she's a song, she's a song bird. She had a beautiful
really?
voice.
Oh,
So do you know what I'm
that's
saying,
good.
Audrey?
Yeah.
Everybody has talents, and some are more than others.
Yeah.
And we saw Mean Girls, and we saw the Rockettes again, and we toured everywhere. We just did it all.
Yes.
And my sister Colleen
Yeah.
was with
No
me.
shopping happened on this trip whatsoever. Judy was given strict instructions. No extra suitcases or anything.
No shopping.
I beg to differ.
That's my only one lie I've ever told you on the show.
Exactly. In other news, besides your trip to New York, which was big, big, big and huge, there is actually the only Canadian astronaut on a 6-man crew fired off in a Russian rocket this morning and is actually due to dock at the International Space Station in the next couple of hours. So that's all over the news on our Canadian news for sure. And we just want to say his name is David St. Jacques.
All right.
And so we're watching very intently. Very exciting news here for us in Canada.
is.
He's the only Canadian astronaut aboard the rocket, and
Big.
Yeah, it's big news. Yeah, definitely.
Well,
We wish him the best of luck. I believe his family gave him a stuffed animal to actually take with him, and it's inside the capsule that they went off in. And actually, besides having something from home, it also gives them a gauge of gravity inside the
Okay.
because they're strapped in, and then this little animal it will give them an idea on the gravity if there is or isn't or something along that line. So
My worst
we
nightmare would be to be an astronaut because I'm extremely claustrophobic.
Oh,
So
and the
you might as well
tight.
shoot me before
Oh,
putting
really?
me in one of
Not
those.
that you wouldn't want to travel.
I would never do that in a million. If they said you can
'Cause it
go
was-
with him
Yeah.
and go to space,
Yeah.
I'd say not in my lifetime.
No. So if Rogers Television sends us,
You're going along.
You're out.
I'm watching.
No, exactly. And we have other international news you were going to
Sad
share.
news.
Sad news.
That,
yeah.
of course, everybody knows by now that the former President George H.W. Bush, the 41st President of the United States, passed away on Friday after many years of health complications and
Yes.
Parkinson's to be one of the main
Exactly.
things that he fought. So 94 was a grand old age.
That really
Yeah.
is. Now his funeral is coming up this Wednesday.
Well, he passed away
or-
in Houston,
Okay.
surrounded by family and friends. And I don't know, I was away, so I don't know the details of his funeral exactly. But I do know that CNN reported that his last voice call was to, like on speakerphone, was to his son,
Oh,
George
okay.
W. Bush, former
Yes.
president. And it went something like, "Dad, you have been the most wonderful father." And his final words were, "I love you too." So it's always, it doesn't matter if you like the politician or follow the politician or
No.
appreciate what he's done for the country. It's all about the final stages. And he really wanted to be, they said, with his wife who passed away in April of this year, Barbara. They were
that's
married
right.
73
That's right.
years.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, and he longed for her. And I think he wanted to be with her.
Missed
He was
her.
ready to go.
Yes, exactly.
So it was big news. And I mean, he was a big name out there. Everybody knows who he was.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. That's
thoughts
just
for
it.
that
So our
family.
thoughts and prayers with that family
Yes.
for sure. We have some other things that I wanted to bring up. You were telling me about in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
They have recently, or they're trying to ban a Christmas song.
They have.
They have banned a Christmas song, "Baby, It's Cold Outside."
Yeah, which is one of my favorites.
It is. I love it.
I
think
could have been
it's sweet.
shot in New York because I was singing that down the sidewalks,
you're
and I
kidding.
didn't realize at the time that it was.
Explain to me exactly why or what the issue is. Because
Okay.
I know you have some paper on.
So I do have some notes that the U.S. radio station has stopped playing "Baby, It's Cold Outside" amidst the Me Too moment.
Okay. Oh, the Me Too moment. Okay, okay.
Which, of course, Harvey Weinstein, he was the producer that started all this with his alleged sexual assault and
harassment and
misconduct
assaults.
towards many women.
Yep.
He was the name that began it all.
Right.
So in the song, the female singer sings, "I really can't stay," to which the male responds, "But baby, it's cold outside." And beautiful, what's your hurry? And some of the other lines include, my mother will start to worry. I ought to say, no, no, no.
Yeah.
And then, what's in this drink? So apparently I've never closely listened to those words or insinuations of a sexual misconduct in that song. However, there's that theme playing throughout, they feel now. I think they're taking it too far.
I'm like, I feel like they're reading in between the lines, or they're making more of it than what it really is.
Well, Audrey, have you listened to some of the other songs that are on the air that are so
my land.
terribly wrong as far as...
well, I mean, the language alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
And the innuendos are so blatant that to me, they're taking the innocence of this song.
This simple Christmas song.
Which I love.
I do too.
Love it.
The melody, the song. I'm trying to think who...
Well, okay, Bing Crosby's done it, Doris Day's done it,
right.
Bette Midler's done it with Dean Martin. We've had Kelly Clarkson with CeeLo Green that have done it. It's been out there huge.
I actually had bought the CD, the Christmas CD from Duck Dynasty. And there's the couple that sing that in there. And I thought it was just sweet. I really did.
Love it.
I never once thought, I mean, to me, you would have to have that mindset to begin with.
I know.
To think that, or to
make it such a taboo song.
Exactly.
Well, however, there are people that are fighting to have it revived again. However, the U.S. the radio stations have stopped playing it because of the pressure. It's too bad.
No,
really too bad.
Okay. Well, on that note, I have another question on because I listen to 99.3 The River, and I listen to Michelle Roy and Ann Woods every morning and get caught up on all the Miramichi news. And she had a thought-provoking question, actually, and she had put it out there, and I didn't get a chance to go back to Facebook to see what other people had to say about it. But the question is, especially this time of year, school started in September, and now the bad weather, and unfortunately there's been more and more complaints about drivers not yielding to the flashing lights of a bus or their stop sign.
I've seen
that
it.
Actually swings out, and you've actually witnessed it.
It's disturbing.
So the question is whether or not seatbelts should be mandatory on school buses.
That's your question for me?
Yes.
No thought about it. Yes, they should be mandatory.
My question is, why are they not there in the first place?
Never have been.
Exactly.
Never.
So what was the ruling when seatbelts became law?
For vehicles, for motor vehicles.
A bus is not a motor vehicle?
I
you know what I mean? I'm lost to understand why they weren't implemented there as well.
So and we've seen
I get it. You get up, you get off, the different stops, you know what I mean? But once you're on, you're not going to get out of your seat until your stop is there, so why not stay buckled?
Not only that, we've seen it
the
locally.
driver's wearing one.
We've seen it locally. We've seen it on national news where a bus has overturned into a ravine, or there's been bus fatalities because of the ejections of these young people. So we witness this very many times, that they've gone off the road due to icy roads. Maybe the driver falls asleep. There's so many scenarios could play out. I think they should be mandatory for sure. What's the cost of a piece of material?
To equip all the buses that are on the roads today. I think
people's lives.
It truly is. And I know that some people would possibly argue the fact that most accidents happen when the bus has come to a stop, and then the children would technically be unbuckled and now standing and walking to get off or to embark or disembark.
That's
the school bus.
One main aspect of it.
You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't have your seatbelt on then, and yes, accidents do happen then as well, but they also happen while the bus is moving.
Yeah, they should be mandatory.
So why not? The driver is wearing a seatbelt.
Exactly.
I truly don't understand. We'd love to hear from our viewers, though, all our viewers here at Have a Chat who get a chance to see the show. We'd love to find out whether or not you think they should be mandatory, and whether or not the government should fund having all of the buses equipped with the
it's like they run all year round, right? It's not like you're taking them on a one-day field trip. These are everyday, all-day transportation modes. They're in there, they're going to school in them, and they're going on field trips in them, and they're returning home in them. It's not like you're in there for 5 minutes.
No. And the other issue I would actually throw out there is the fact that when my children are in my vehicle with me, because they are underage, it would be considered bad parenting if I didn't enforce the fact my children to put on their seatbelt. In fact, I could be fined and receive a ticket.
Agree.
If I do not. So here we have all these underage children on buses with no seat belts.
Doesn't make sense to me.
No.
It's a great thought that
When
we
you're
should have
talking about public transportation and buses, now those are, for the most part, mostly adults. And if you sit in a seat and you choose not to wear your seatbelt,
That's
well,
right.
that's on you.
Exactly.
Right? But for children under the age, I think for sure, definitely, seatbelts should be mandatory on school buses.
I agree.
What are your thoughts? We'd love to hear from you. You can actually, because you can check us out on our Facebook page, and you can actually voice your thoughts and opinions there on everything and anything that we're talking about here.
Perfect.
Definitely. What else?
I want to talk about some fun stuff now.
Okay.
Let's do some of the trends for women in, well, not just in New York, but worldwide for winter. I'll go right through them very quickly in the 2 minutes that we
and
have.
then we'll have our guests on the show. So
this
what's
is what's
trending in New York?
ladies,
Okay.
monochromatic red. So head to toe red, 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 red.
Matchy, matchy, matchy?
Just red, whatever. Like shades of red blended with dark shades of red with ruby
Oh, you're
reds.
kidding.
Red is in.
Okay.
Plaids are
Whether
in.
it's Christmas or not?
Whether
does
it's Christmas or not.
Okay.
Plaid is big.
Plaid is huge. I
Plaid
noticed.
coats, plaid
I don't wear
skirts.
anything plaid.
I bought a plaid skirt.
Did you?
I'm in now.
Okay.
Fur coats. Whoa. I thought
Like
that,
real fur?
Yeah, that's
They're
like.
back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I have faux furs, and I did buy one in New York, but the vintage-inspired coats are what's in.
Vintage,
Velvet's
I love.
huge.
Velvet is huge.
All
I've
the-
actually seen it in bathing suits.
What?
Yes.
How yucky.
Well, if it gets wet, I don't think it's
I
going to
don't
be that
like
pretty.
that. But the jewel colors of the velvet dresses and pants and everything.
I
So
do
do
that
I.
crushed velvet. It's
Yep.
my favorite. I don't like the full-on,
No.
the kind that if you touch it, it looks
No,
one
the
color.
real velvet.
Yeah.
I love it too. The floral patterns are all in. It's not just pertaining to spring and summer any longer. It's the roses, the flowers are all in for winter. Do you?
I do. I prefer bigger print to teeny tiny,
Uh-huh.
but that's just me.
But floral.
Okay.
Dresses with feathers. I saw them everywhere. Little cocktail dresses with feathers coming from either the upper part or the bottom of the
Oh,
skirt.
really? Okay.
Yeah, wide
Feathers.
belts are in, metallic coats are in, silver metallic coats
Metallic,
and dresses.
I know, yeah. Metallic was in last Christmas as well. Silver and gold. Gold is coming back, or whatever. Rose gold, all of that.
Your thing's in, Audrey, glitzy shoes.
Oh, really?
With the
Perfect.
everything on them.
Exactly.
Glisten and buckle. Like,
Sparkle.
Yeah, jewels.
More. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, we're going to take a short break like we must, and we'll be back with more Have a Chat after the break with a couple of great young guests that
Yes.
you're truly going to enjoy. So don't go away. We'll be back. Welcome back to Have a Chat. Joining us now are our guests, Cheyenne Savoy and Danae Lynch. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us. I must say that this is Audrey's beautiful daughter,
Danae.
Danae, and joined by her beautiful friend, her very, very best friend, probably.
Yes.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Cheyenne Savoy, definitely. So you ladies are here to talk to us about something that's ongoing right here, right now, happening this weekend. Actually, you've actually just performed 4 shows of the Elf the Musical, put on by the Rivermade Productions, Mr. Gopi and his crew. And you have one more show to do tonight.
Yep.
And you got to play hooky this afternoon and be with us on the show today
Yes.
to talk about it. And Judy's got a great big pile of questions all lined up for us today.
Well, first of all, I imagine that the crowds are filling the theater night after night, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As usual, it's to capacity most nights?
Well, there's only like a few, just
Yeah.
a couple of seats.
Well, it holds 590 people
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
Jameson Hill
so-
Theater. For those who want to attend tonight, it's on Henderson Street at Chatham and the high school at Jameson Hill at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Your last big show.
Yep.
I do have some questions. I do theater myself, as you know. So I know about your acting world and what it entails.
Yes,
How many
because Danae
productions
does
yet?
the acting, and this year Cheyenne is a crew member. So we're going to talk to them both a little bit about
The different
what it's like
aspects
to
of
be
it.
in the
Yeah.
different, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so first of all, how many productions have you been in so far?
I've been in 4.
Four
This
of
is
Mr.
my
Gopi's
4th.
musicals
Yes.
with Rivermade Productions.
Yep.
All right, and you've been on crew how long, Cheyenne?
Just this year.
Okay, my son was in crew. It's a big job.
Yeah.
I find people don't really have what respect it requires to acknowledge what you people do behind
Yeah.
the scene. I totally do now because of being in Mamma Mia with the high school kids too. Backstage is so important.
Yeah.
It is, especially in a
Oh.
big musical like this where there's a lot to the sets.
Yes.
And each scene requires so many things and props brought on and off the stage. And for the most part, they have to do it in the dark when the lights are
I
down.
know, that's what I mean. I
It
really
can get
truly
tricky.
appreciate.
So you're tripping over actors who are
Yeah,
coming
you're
on
trying
and
to
off.
get through.
Exactly. No, I can appreciate it from being backstage the hard work that goes into it, the lifting, and how fast you have to get those sets put together
You have
for the
like
next
30
scene.
seconds.
All right. So, are you a little bit tired after all the weekly production that you've
I
been in?
am, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so now tonight you have to muster up that all important energy
Yep.
to get the crowd wowed.
Yep.
And what's that take for you? You can get into it just like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can just be all, just
Turn it on.
it gets me excited just seeing the audience and just being on stage. Even if they're not there, I'm just
They feed you,
yeah.
Yeah.
and you feed them.
Yep.
Okay, what roles are you playing? I said roles because it's multi.
Yes. I am a saleswoman, a Santa, and a New Yorker.
She's a saleswoman at Macy's.
I love you. I just
By the
saw
way.
you. Why did I feel like I just met you in New York. So, which is that your favorite role, or what out of those
Well,
three?
I guess so, yes, because I get to speak, I get to talk to Buddy, because I'm the
Yeah.
one who hands him this perfume that he tries, and he sprays it in his mouth,
Oh no,
and then
Yeah.
he
If
doesn't
you've
like
seen
it.
the movie Elf, that's what
Yeah. I
happens in
have.
the real movie.
that was
yeah.
a wonderful
So-
movie. I'm so glad they're bringing that
It
to the
was.
stage.
So when you get to interact with one of the main characters, though, you don't have that super big role. You find that a little bit more exciting.
Yeah,
do you?
because people they're,
You're engaged.
They're watching
yeah,
the main
You're really-
yeah,
character.
they're watching, yeah.
And what about you? Do you get nervous when you know that they're counting on you and your
Yes.
co-crew
Yes.
to get that set just perfectly in place?
Yeah, like it's hard to like see the markers on the floor where you're supposed to put stuff, and like I'm scared that I'm gonna like mess up and put something in the wrong place.
What enticed you to become part of the crew? Was it a necessity that they came to you and said, "Would you like to," or did you
No.
always want to do backstage?
I always want to do backstage. I've been in like plays before and stuff, and like Danae's told me about crew, and it seemed like a really fun thing to do.
So why not acting?
I don't know. I don't really like being on the stage that much.
Okay, you
I
don't.
kind of get scared.
You find that a little bit
Yeah.
more nerve-wracking and a little
Yeah.
Well,
right,
it is
exactly.
for-
Well, because she's done middle school dramas,
Yeah.
right, and different things like that. So she did have a taste of the acting, and so
Now it's another
Yeah, exactly.
option. What do you find do you love the challenge? Are there any nights that you get really nervous because you're tired and maybe your lines aren't popping into your head? That's got to be the worst.
Yeah, yes.
What's my line? What's my line?
Yeah, exactly.
And
like-
you don't have prompters. We used to have
no.
prompters when I was in that high
Oh,
school
did
level.
they? Okay.
And if you missed a word, it was like, puff, and they just whisper to you. Now we have nothing.
no, that's just it. Because they have their lines, they have their music, the songs, the choreography, the costume changes to go
Oh,
off and come back. Have you missed any of your cues as of yet?
I have, yes. I've missed, not yesterday, but the day before. I was supposed to be right on, but I completely forgot because I was just backstage, just changing. I'm like, wait, what do I have next? I'm like, I'm supposed to be on. I'm like, oh gosh. And then,
Your heart's racing.
Yeah, but I came on in the middle of the song and kept going. So,
Ah, that's so cool.
yep.
And so you've been friends all through childhood or just in high school?
Well, we've been friends, but like it's just like middle school we became best friends.
Yeah.
and
we're
this is
close.
bringing you closer
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
What about the
Definitely.
camaraderie with the cast? So we know that you're playing with other high school students, of course,
Yeah.
that you may or not be friends with or have never met before. Is that something really fun to meet people in a different light? So you could be sitting beside them in math class, but now you're on stage with them or you're on
Yeah.
crew with them. Does it make you closer?
Crew's
It
like one
does.
big family. Like we all like are really close now.
Because there's even little children that don't even,
yeah.
other kids that don't even go to this school are actually in this production. So it widens their friend base as well, I find.
And you're so proud as a parent, right?
Oh, well, my husband and I went to opening night, and this particular production, Mr. Gopi had come on stage to let us know that, because Elf was done 3 or maybe 4 years ago,
Oh, right.
and so these girls wouldn't have been in that
No.
because it was a different cast, a different age group altogether. But he mentioned that they were doing Elf bigger and better, which I was like, okay, so they're going to be doing something different. And Danae and even in Cheyenne can tell you there's a couple of things that they took over and beyond to make people truly feel like they were in New York.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So you probably do plan to go on to do a trade or post-secondary education after high school, right?
Hopefully.
Do you
like,
think
to
theater
carry on.
is part of that picture?
Yeah, like for me to like,
Keep it going?
Yeah, I would like to anyway.
Do you
That
think
would
it's
be
in
a
your
goal or
blood?
a dream.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think you've got to keep your acting ability going because it's
I
something. It's a
wanna.
passion. It's a hobby, right?
It is.
Well, she
Yeah.
truly enjoys singing as
That
well.
too, as well.
That's-
Oh.
She sings every day.
In the
Whether-
shower, the car,
Everywhere.
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 You try to drive your mother
Karaoke.
crazy, do you?
Yeah, like in the car, I'll be blasting my music on Bluetooth and just jamming out in the car. Those are my favorite times, just riding in the car with her and jamming out to my music.
Does your mom disallow certain songs because of the vulgarity contained within
That's
it?
true. Yeah, I can't play all of my songs, but I don't sing to like bad songs. So
The
it's
music
just,
Nazi,
No.
are you?
That's,
A little bit. A
What
little
about
bit.
you, dear? What do you like to listen to, or what is your go-to for when you're getting ready for your theater? Do you play pumped up songs to get you motivated?
Well, yeah, in the crew room, they're always like playing music. A lot of the music I don't like that they're playing in there, but I guess it works.
Sometimes I find more mellow gets me more comfortable before I go on stage, as
Yeah.
opposed to the loud rock
Yeah.
stuff. Gets you a little bit enervated. I find to wind down after production as well. What do
Yeah,
you
it
do
can
when
be a
you
little
want to
tricky.
come home and settle down to go to sleep because you have to go to school the next day? Do you have any modes that you fall into, like quiet music or bubble bath or anything that gets you just
bathing or
Yeah,
Chills.
actually, yeah.
a nice bath?
Yeah.
being in comfy clothes and just
You have to do that.
relaxing. Yes.
Now, there was quite a bit of practices that they had to attend to get this production up and running. Now, how did you find and how did you deal with all of that along with your school? Trying to fit it all in.
Balance.
I guess like it's an excuse to not do my homework. Is that-
Danae.
but
That was
But-
probably not something she was supposed to say out loud.
I do get it done, but it's like on the weekends as if like I like to sleep in. I am not a morning person.
Nice
for
to meet
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you find it,
But-
is it some sort of, even being a crew member, some level of stress to get your schoolwork done or to get up and go to school the next day when you have all of this extra stuff on your plate?
Yeah, because usually since I live in Rogersville, like if it's like
That's
till 8, I only get home at like 9, so I kind of wait till the morning to do my homework, hoping I don't forget to.
Yeah,
No.
Cheyenne's you're a half-hour bus ride into town or
Yeah.
more every day.
And then I have to switch buses at Nelson and then go to JMH.
What do you think, just switching lanes then for a moment on the same subject of seatbelt wearing, what do you think it should be or should not be
Because
mandatory?
you have a long drive.
Oh yeah, I think it should be because in the wintertime the bus slides a lot. Like on my road because my road's like not very like plowed all the time. It's
Where
like
you have to come in from the back roads. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You'd feel more comfortable.
yes.
Danae, did you ever give thought to that?
Oh yeah, I think that we should be like more secure.
Well,
Cause
she's actually
in the morning,
experienced a bus
it's-
accident.
yes,
Really?
I have. Yep. That
The
was
bus
pretty
had come
scary.
to a stop. You can tell.
It was in front of
J.H. Stewart.
or Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I witnessed that.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
really?
I was coming along and I thought, oh my heavens, hope nobody's badly hurt
It
in
was
that or
right
hurt
in
it.
the back. We was just about to stop, and then we were all like moving our stuff up to the very front.
Yes.
And
So
as
they
soon as we
had
were walking,
stood up because the bus had come to a stop to let a child off.
so we wanted to go up to the front because our stop was soon. And the next thing you know, a black truck came right in the back of the
Slammed into
bus,
the back
and then
of the
we
bus.
all like moved like that, and there was glass shattered all over us, and
Any injuries?
there was one like this little girl like while she was getting off, she hit her head off the
My.
side of the seat. She had a little concussion.
So dangerous.
So with seatbelts in place, that probably would never have happened. You
Yeah.
would have been kept secure.
Well, whether or not they would have undid
Yeah,
the
it
seatbelts and
depends,
moved
yeah.
forward.
Yeah,
If the
but-
rule of not getting out of your seat until
Then
your
no one-
step is there.
No, they had to get out of the seat. Otherwise,
Yeah.
but being seated, and if you had been hit from behind in your seat, it would have been much more safe.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I agree with that.
No,
What else do you want to tell us about Elf? How many people are in it?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh.
Tell us
a
about
lot.
There's a
the
lot.
main character is played by who?
Connor Blakely.
Connor Blakely
I know
plays
Connor.
Buddy the Elf.
Yes, he
Yep.
does.
Okay.
He's in
And
them all.
yes. He's a tall
great.
boy.
He is. He's perfect for it, you know? He's
Yes.
like, he's real tall and he's just outgoing, he's funny and just
Well
perfect
cast.
for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you find you learn from those? Because you've been in a few plays now. Are you finding that you're picking up some tips
Yep.
and learning how to be a better actor?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if you forget your lines, you had to go improv. Improv, you have to do
Which
it.
he had to do a couple of times.
I did. I had to do it yesterday
well.
too.
Are you a good ad-libber?
Ad-libber?
Ad-libber? Like, I'm old,
When-
remember, okay, darling?
When you have to ad lib, when you have to
Like-
make stuff up because you
Yeah.
forgot your line.
have to
Are you
fill
able
in the
to-
line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm good
It's
at
called
that.
ad-libbing, so you miss your line, you have to think, okay, what do I do now, and spit something out.
And just like you know, have to like walk a bit and be like, you know, just
Think
to, like,
about it.
play it off for a sec and then
Think of something.
yeah,
No, because sometimes something goes wrong with the prop.
For sure.
that too. Yeah.
That can be another thing that happens. So you have to be quick on your feet with
Yes.
what you're going to do and how you're going to deal with it so that the audience is still. Do you find it helps when the audience is like cheering or says your name or laughs? and-
100%. It makes us feel like so much better. Like
You
just
put
to
more
be in
into it?
Oh yeah, for sure. We love a loud crowd.
You
So
can
that's
have
a
a
note
dead.
to the audience to
Yeah.
participate.
You can have a dead audience, and that is
It makes it
really
hurt.
challenging when they're just flat and they're like not getting it or they're not with you. It's just, you've got to really zone up on the energy then.
Yep. Because they sound bored, you know, and we feel like that we're not doing a good job. Then we're all
I
sad.
know.
and-
Audience is key to a good performance.
Yep.
Cheyenne, how many in the crew with you, roughly?
Probably about like 10 or like 15 people.
And you're a tiny little frame girl,
Yeah.
so do you do a lot of lifting or moving or just pushing things on, or what's your role?
I do a little bit of lifting, but mostly like pushing and like chairs and stuff, like not very heavy things.
Props? Are you on props?
Yep.
So you have to get those all lined up in the back of the stage to have them passed on to their
Yep.
buddy or whoever needs them really quickly and know exactly what they need. It's pressure. I've been there.
Oh yeah.
But what's the most fun thing? Is that the most fun play you've done, or?
No, I think Lion King was my #1 favorite.
Yeah, I
So
saw
far.
it.
It's just because all the words were like unique and stuff, like Engonama, Nangwe, we had to learn all of that, and it was just so much fun, and just like the dance moves and like being an animal is just like being in the
It
character
required
and stuff.
more of you as an actor to be
Yes.
able to play those roles.
Yep, and everyone
Right?
knows Lion King, so everyone wanted to see, you know.
So colorful and bright, and
It
it's
was.
exciting.
And like giraffes on stilts and stuff.
know.
That was
To make it as
crazy.
real and as lifelike as possible. That, and like I was saying, to anyone who has not seen this show yet and would like to see it, if you want to feel like you were in New York with Judy, but you weren't, you definitely have to go see this show. It truly brings you in, not to just the story of Buddy the Elf, which is absolutely hilarious, but it takes you to New York City. And I was there years ago, and I've seen the movie Elf. So I liked that there was a lot. The play itself is quite unique and a
Yes.
little bit different, not identical to the movie, but yet
Which
there
is
was
good.
enough. Yeah, exactly. It's more unique that way.
I like when they innovate a bit, change it up.
No, it gives the actors a chance to
Renew.
make, yeah, exactly, to make the role their own. So what do you see for your future with when it comes to theater and acting? What is your goal going along with this?
Well, for me, like I just want to go to like an acting school, and like once I figured I can sing, and then like pursue it more, and just like getting higher and higher and higher.
But as
hopefully,
far as now, you're just coming into high school, so
Yeah.
are your goals to get maybe bigger roles
oh
and
yeah,
more
for
lines?
sure. I have, yeah,
I would think that's every actor's is goal,
yep.
right? Now, Cheyenne, is this something that you will do again?
Well, I want to be in crew all throughout high school, but it's not like
Yes.
a career thing that I'd do.
No.
No, not you don't want to be in theater production as
No.
your after high school graduation plan.
No.
No, exactly. It's something that you want to do to participate and have it be something
Yeah.
for high school memories. Now they have a big, they have their big after party this evening
Ooh.
after the
Yep.
show at Boston Pizza tonight. Boston Pizza is actually staying open later for
Very
them,
fun.
so that they can get together and say their goodbyes
And celebrate your success
and
of the
celebrate
show.
the success. Now, how do you handle that part of it coming off of all of this?
That makes me very upset, but like very proud.
Right.
Because like we like did a great show, but it's like all the people that I met that not gonna be in practice with anymore. That's
No, because some of them are seniors, right? And they're
Exactly,
going
that
to be
too.
gone, and
Yeah.
you're not going to see them on a regular basis.
It's bittersweet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's fun to get together with your friends.
It
Another
is.
late night. Tomorrow you'll be in school. You won't even know where you are. You'll be so tired.
Yeah.
We have to give a big shout out to Mr. David Gopi and Candace
yeah.
Curtis.
He's-
He is the
he's
director and
great.
she is the choreographer. And I had to learn to sing with her too. And I don't sing, so that was really
Yeah,
fun.
she does the music. The choreographer was who? Was
Oh,
yes,
it
she
was Angela Howe.
Angela
Okay.
Howe did the actual dancing
Yep.
choreographed. Right, exactly.
right. And vocal is Candace
Candace.
Curtis.
Yes.
Yes.
She's
Sometimes.
Helped you
yes.
sometimes? Okay. No. This
It's like one of the graduates
Oh, okay.
has
It'll-
helped, and
Mhm.
she's
Okay.
like back in it. She was like helping us with our
Okay.
singing and stuff. But
Okay.
we were supposed to learn it on our own time. So
Okay,
it's like
learn the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have some homework and stuff like that to do as well.
Yep.
Well, we're actually going to take a short little break, a little commercial break,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to come back and we're going to talk more with these lovely ladies, and we're going to talk to them a little bit more. This is their first year in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to tell us all about their experiences and how they're making out.
Yep.
We'll be back right after the break. Don't go away. And we're back with more Have a Chat. We've been chatting with a couple of young ladies that are in and a part of a big production that's happening this weekend. And tonight is the last night for Elf the Musical, put on by Rivermade Productions. And we just want, and we were talking about Elf earlier and your roles with being an actress and being a crew member. We want to let our viewers know and remind them about the fact tonight's the last night.
Yep.
Doors open at James M. Hill at 6:30. Show is at 7. Tickets available still possibly at Jean Coutu. I'd give them a call first to see if there's any left there because a ticket bought ahead of time is $15. But if you don't get them there, you can get tickets at the door, which is $20. Correct?
Yep.
Perfect.
And I believe they do a half and half draw. There are roses there that you can buy to actually have presented to your favorite actor throughout the show.
So
There's a
nice.
snack bar set up
Yes.
there. And there's other tickets. I believe the King Street Elementary School's got their big draw on where you can win $5,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Woohoo.
So they're selling tickets on that as well.
Big night
So-
out on a Monday.
Yeah, for a Monday night, if you haven't seen this, you definitely want to check it out. So now we want to talk to these two young ladies about the fact that this is your first year, grade 9, first year in high school. Now, Danae was on our show, Judy, I don't know if you remember,
I do.
when she was heading into middle school.
Yes.
And she gave us the lowdown on how she was making out or what she thought it was going to go like.
Very honest girl.
So
Would
now
you wear
we're-
uniforms? No.
We remember that, yeah. Uniforms are out. That's not something that's
Now
open
you're
for
all
discussion.
grown up, girls.
Yeah.
As they say. Grade 9, so you're 14.
Yes.
14 as well,
Yeah.
Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm.
What are the biggest changes you would say from going middle school level to high school level?
Freedom.
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 Yes.
They feel free.
Freedom.
Yes.
What do you mean there's no discipline?
Middle school was
What-
prison?
Well,
Well, like you
at
actually-
lunchtime
yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
You can leave the
go-
school.
Yes, but you have to be back.
Freedom.
They actually lock the door if they're not back. Like the door is open for that full lunch hour, and the door will be locked, and they'd have to get buzzed in if they weren't back in time,
Okay.
right?
You're looking at a much higher student body number.
A lot
do you,
more
do you-
children.
do you feel that it's overwhelming at times when you're meeting the grade 10s, 11s, and 12s in school who are well rehearsed now as to what high school is all about, and you're the newbies on the block?
Yeah,
Well,
I guess.
sometimes.
But you fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were in high school, I know Audrey and I, and I'm sure that it doesn't change a whole lot. You have your cliques or whatever they want to call them, groups. You have your drama kids, and you have your athletic kids, and you have your kids that maybe are into, I don't know, mathematician type people. So are they still in their little areas, or are they all more gelled together now?
They're more gelled together, I find. Like, there's not like certain groups that I find.
It's just
Good.
everyone's with everyone. you
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Well, that's good. That's good news to hear because I mean there was always the crowd, like the
Jocks.
guys, the jocks, the guys who
Yeah.
were all the mechanics.
The cheerleaders.
Yes, different things like that. But for you guys now, to go to the smaller school, and you were with the exact same classmates for a long time,
9
Yeah.
years.
right? Kindergarten to
9
grade
years.
8. So now
Yeah.
you go to high school and you guys are split up. Was that shocking?
It was a little upsetting, but also like kind of like new people, like
Yes.
new friends, you know.
You feel more grown up?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to get right into the educational aspect of it all. What, in your opinion, makes for an excellent teacher?
Well, not like too strict, but like not like letting things go all the time. Like I find like not like that much homework, but like enough to like so you know what's going on.
Not overload.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like the discipline, of course, because in a structured classroom, there's a sense of control. You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to be a teacher that yells to have your student listen. So, an excellent teacher, you find, do you love the ones that have experience with what they're talking about? Like as a history teacher that travels and can bring it to the classroom, or a teacher perhaps in English that has a very good grasp on literature?
I mean, it'd be more
yeah.
helpful for
I
us.
find it
like-
very helpful.
Yeah.
I did, in my day. Okay.
Yep.
What in this day and age that we have all of the educational part, but then we have all the media stuff going on, which in this century is everything right now.
Yeah, you and I had nothing.
Technology is
Zero.
it.
Yeah,
as far
computers
as-
were just coming out for me in grade 10. We
Yeah.
learned the basic of a computer, but this social media now, how are you guys handling that in high school?
Like,
on your phone, on your you have your iPod, you have your
Are
iPhone.
there rules against it
It's-
during class time still, or
I
Yeah.
guess like some teachers be like, hey, put that away, but yep, okay, and then like next thing you know, you could be on your phone again. Like I guess it's pretty
hard to
easy
monitor.
yeah, it's pretty easy to just go on your phone and not pay attention like whatsoever. But we have a little pockets like on the doors that we have our own number,
Okay.
and it's all like in a little
so you're supposed to put your cell phone in there when you enter the class?
You don't have to as long as it's away
Yeah, as
and
long
the
as it's
teacher
away.
doesn't see it.
No.
Because my concern was when it comes to testing or exam time, and you're trying to calculate a math question.
Yeah.
There's your phone.
Yeah.
Well, you
Too
can
easy.
actually Google even information, the
Of course.
question. You know what I mean?
Easy to cheat with those phones.
No.
Do you see much anxiety as far as children in school being bullied still? Cyberbullying or in-school bullying?
Not really, like
no,
very
I don't
seldom.
On the phones, they're not at each other, like, you know what I mean, name calling, or because I hear about it, but I don't really know if that exists.
Yeah, but like it's not really a big thing. Like kids deal with it themselves, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, there's a room now set up at James M. Hill.
Yeah,
the,
mindfulness
room.
the mindfulness room
Yeah.
that
Tell
they
us
have
about
at James
that
M.
now,
Hill. Yeah.
mindfulness
So what does that
room.
mean
You
exactly?
can go in there to just like relax, like breather. It's just like there's a few
If you're
lamps
finding
and
things
couple
overwhelming,
chairs.
this is where you can
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, there's like a little water thing.
There's
It's
like
really
incense
cute.
in there.
Oh, this is
Okay.
new.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was that when I was in school?
No, that's just it. They implemented that, I believe, the beginning of this year, so that any child who's feeling at any age or any time throughout their school day, they can go to this room
Wow.
and just,
Chill.
take a minute,
Yeah.
regroup, and bring it back to focus and be able to continue on with their day. It's a safe place,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
And there's so much stress. You're up against such an amount of obstacles in high school. You have, your friends that you want to mix with. You have your homework to get done. You have your
Yeah.
extracurricular activities. What do you find is the most challenging about grade 9?
Well, for me, I don't like homework in general. Like I just
Yeah.
like a lot of the homework I have is math, and that's not my favorite subject like,
No.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we have it like almost every single night, unless like we have a test the next day.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy for
Me
me.
and her have different teachers, so I have less homework than she does usually.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we don't have any classes together either.
No.
None. We only see each other at lunchtime, but yeah, it's pretty stressful a bit for me,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, academically, yeah. Math is not her strong suit, and being the mom, I can sort of step in there. But I guess from my point of view is just to make sure that I can keep her thinking positively. I mean, math or other subjects, when it came to all of my kids, to me, I was like, as long as you're putting in the work and your best, whether your best is an A or a B or a C, as
Yeah.
long as you're giving the effort,
That's right.
that's all I am asking. I don't expect all of my kids to be math wizards or science wizards or anything else like that. They will find their calling, so to speak, eventually. But as far as the schoolwork and the academic, it's all, we all have to go through it. We all have to participate in it. And to me, I'm like, I have zero tolerance for not doing the assignment or not doing the homework or not, you know what I mean? Because the teacher's not asking you to do something that they're not asking everyone else to do. But I personally would like to see teachers being a little more helpful when it comes time to asking a question. I don't think they realize, even in high school, for a student to raise their hand or ask a question, they're still quite apprehensive about doing that because they don't want to look stupid or that they don't know what they're doing. So a child will not ask for help. And then there's after school classes, but still I really wish they could still nurture them a little bit more, even in grade 9, when academics is where they struggle.
So we talked the last time you were on, Danae, about, you're talking about freedom, but you did address the subject of school clothing and what's appropriate and not appropriate. Is that more, would you say that's more of a freedom thing in high school, or is there a dress code?
Well, there is a dress code, but nobody follows it.
As in what, Cheyenne? Do tell.
It's like all the B's, like belly, butt, boobs.
They allow that.
Like, no, that's the stuff that you're not supposed to see.
So if I was this girl in grade 9 and I was showing cleavage and my jeans were too low that you could see my backside and my belly was up and I had a piercing there or something, they're not going to call you on it?
Not really.
They're supposed to, but they don't.
So you're still witnessing and seeing a number of students walking around dressed. A lot of bellies, a lot of, because it's boobs, back, butt, right? Back,
the B's.
Boobs, all the B's, right? Kind of thing. So, well, that's a little upsetting as a parent to know that they're, and it might be hard for them to get a handle on it because so many students are doing it. But I really feel like if that's the rule, what are you teaching everyone else if it's not being followed through with repercussions for not doing it? What is it teaching these girls here?
Like the seniors are doing it too, and like
role modeling for the younger ones.
Yeah.
So I think that's when, and I'm not talking about any person in any school district anywhere, but if I was in control of that, I would be having constant assemblies and repercussions for that inappropriate use of dress code. I would be saying, we're getting together as a student body, this goes, this does not go, you will be consequenced in some form. I don't know what that would be yet, because it's in my mind, somewhere in the back, but there would be a repercussion for that because it's inappropriate to have exposure like that.
At the very start of the year, that's what they did. They did a big old thing. We all had to sit down at assembly and they said all about that. Like nothing
was done. You've never heard of a student being sent home or to change their clothes or to
See, I like to follow up, and I have 2 boys. But I have sons, so I've never
because the issues are more
issue
with girls, right? Kind of thing or whatever. And I get the fact that a woman should be able to, or a young lady should be able to express herself with clothing and style.
Yes.
Right?
To a degree in public.
Exactly. But I mean, there's certain outfits for certain places you go,
That's
correct?
Right. You're not
Depending
going to
on
a
where
nightclub. You're not going to a disco, which is my era. You're going to school. And I'm sorry, but this is how I feel.
It's like going to work.
To the viewers, I feel like there's so many young men in high school and young male teachers that are hormonal. Let's just say it. And it's a distraction. If I was a teacher, a 26-year-old young teacher, and there are all these beautiful girls walking around with everything hanging out, I'm sorry. To me, we're at this We Too movement. If I didn't want it, I wouldn't dress like that. I'm saying if I didn't want that unwanted attention, I would be sure that nothing was showing that shouldn't be showing. Because then it's like, look at me, look at me, look at this, look what I've got. And
I think I can look good and attractive without having to have it all hanging out.
Exactly.
That's the difference. To have it actually hanging out is a different aspect altogether. But now for the boys, are they doing, I'm not a big fan of at least look like you've combed your hair and brushed your teeth and your pants are not hanging down where I can see all your underwear showing. Is that something the boys are still doing?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think boys are supposed to wear like muscle shirts, like tank.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like hanging like down all the way.
Where you can see part of their chest and things like that.
I think the guys are fine. Like they just wear sweaters and khakis.
Yeah.
That's it. But
no, exactly. They're not looking to draw any attention as per se.
No,
right?
but like in middle school, like as soon as like like something was showing, like, oh, like put that away,
Like
you
your
know.
bra
But
strap.
as soon as like you hit like high school, like they just don't really care.
They don't enforce it,
They don't-
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the rule, but nobody's specifically monitoring it or enforcing it. Oh,
But
well,
you
that's
know,
unfortunate.
in this area, and again, no names mentioned, but there
No.
have been schools in our district where they've actually had to cancel school dances because of inappropriate
Yes.
behavior and intimacy and public displays of
Is that-
affection.
yeah.
What grosses you out about that? Does public display of affection bother you when you see that, or are you okay with it?
Well, like there's
I don't bother with it. I just do my own thing. I walk away. You guys do whatever you want. I don't care. But
Okay, you
I'm
don't
over
care. It
here.
doesn't bother you that much.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't really care. But like in the hallways, you like see people kissing and stuff too. It's like.
Does it
okay.
make you uncomfortable?
I mean, it's
Or
kind of
just-
weird, but I just
okay.
like keep walking.
I
No.
think there's so
Keep
much
going.
more acceptance now than what, of
No,
course,
there is.
when we were growing up.
Yeah.
For me, obviously.
I mean,
I'm-
holding hands and him carrying her books,
Yeah.
or maybe a little kiss off to. This is
Yes.
I'm reliving. I'm trying to
I know,
remember
I
back.
know.
It was a little while ago,
Yeah.
you know, and give her a kiss because she's going on to class now. I'm
Yes.
going to that.
But not the
when
mauling
things
and
turn a
groping.
little, yeah, when it turns a lot more where it seems and looks like and could possibly be a lot more sexual in front of other people,
Yeah.
I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, that's not okay. Would you do that in a workplace?
I would
No.
not. No way.
Okay.
But when it comes right down to it, my job was to deal with youth and adolescents. My whole life is what I did, was work
Yeah,
with
that's
young
what
people.
her job was.
So what I can say from my background in psychology is that girls dress like that for one reason only. It's for attention. If you
No.
feel secure, you can wear something like this and feel good about yourself.
I-
You can wear a
Exactly.
pretty top like that and look
Without-
beautiful.
Yeah.
And guys are still going to find you appealing because you're dressed so
Yeah, it's,
sweetly
like,
and
not
nicely.
like low or anything. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I-
want them to like you for the right
Yeah,
reasons.
like, your personality is like your face, not like your body, and
Yeah.
like
And
that's
don't
it.
kid yourself, that's right. It's what's
Yeah.
inside, and you give a kind of a wrong impression when you're letting it all hang out. Like, I'm that kind of a girl that needs to let it all be seen for me to have a guy attracted to me.
No, exactly. And the same as when it comes to like, because I have boys and I have girls. So I sit on both sides of this fence all the time with trying to teach my son that if he's going to leave the house, that he should look a little more put together. I don't want to see him
Sure.
wearing a shirt that says F
No,
whatever,
inappropriate.
you know, or, you know, whatever drug paraphernalia pictures, or, you know what I mean?
No.
Because unfortunately in this day and age, image is a powerful thing.
Sure is.
And eventually you're going to look for a job and a career, and people are actually going to, and employers do this now, use social media to find out who you really are. And if all they see are pictures of you hanging off some guy with a beer bottle in your hand, and same with the boys, whatever,
Yeah.
that would be grounds for them not to hire you. And those pictures and images will stay with you forever. The internet is.
So it's just the bottom line is be true to yourself and remember the old adage, it's inside that counts.
Exactly.
Yep.
We are all out of time for today's show, believe it or not. It went by that quick.
Loved
we
having
want to
you
thank
girls.
all our
Thank
viewers
you.
for watching today. We want to thank Danae and Cheyenne for coming on
Thank you.
and filling in for us today, telling us all about the play, Elf. Now, don't forget, tonight's the last night. You want to get out and check that out.
Yes.
Doors open at 6:30. Show is at 7 sharp at James M. Hill tonight. Elf, the musical. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.